like as an artist, you don't want to be complaining because it's like you create a piece of artwork and then you can get recognized for that piece of art. Now that doesn't really happen as much. Now it's almost like as an artist, you have to adapt to this new ultimate like infinite scrolling of piles of art. It's almost like you've got to adapt to become a brand. So it's no longer about one artwork. It's about you being a brand and like being consistent and getting a following base in each month or each week or wherever you want. Just constantly prove that you can create the next, like some inspiration. So it's like, yeah, as an artist, it's kind of you've adapted yourself to brand yourself, basically.
What are your thoughts on that? Just to touch on that for a second, because it kind of goes back to what you're saying about before, you get hired as a model or now, because it is like brand actually becomes part of the title in a lot of ways. Like the way that people will remember you, the way you differentiate from everyone else, you will be that, let's just say fantasy creature modeler who specializes in women pixies. Like it's literally goes that granular to make you memorable because there is so much out there. I'm kind of curious for you, like, what are your thoughts on that in terms of, do you find that can be limiting at all? And when people have this expectation, especially online, of the type of work you're doing versus perhaps like you want to do something dark and gritty or different from what the people expect of you.
I've kind of niched myself into digital humans, photorealistic, and it's like
I want to go back to Veggie Tales.
yeah. Well, I've been kind of experimenting with some different styles lately, and so they've not been. Some of them have been pretty successful, but some of them have been like people are like, "What is this? I don't like this." I did one of portrait of Marie, who's got four heads all stuck together, and it was just about like seeing how like it was like exploration of identity, of how do we define identity when online you can just copy and paste so much stuff. So I wanted to see how if you copy and paste a photorealistic digital human, how you react to it. It didn't go across too well. People weren't like blown away by it. But for me, it was like one of the most exciting pieces I've done because photorealistic is rather boring, I find. It's discovering identity, looking at a deeper meaning of what makes people people. That's the stuff I really want to look into. And so this piece really was a eye-opener for me to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, but my audience base is like, no, we just want photorealistic. So I gotta somehow break the barrier and kind of like lead people into what I want.
I think a really fascinating conversation of, are you going to be held hostage? Like, is your creativity going to be held hostage to what everyone else wants versus you being the artist, like wanting to create and of course you're going to evolve. Like you saying photorealism, it's like once you crack that code and you've done it 100 times, eventually you're going to say, well, what else is there? But there's that expectation of you that no, you're compartmentalized. You do that, and you'd only do that, or I won't click like on your work.
Yeah, I think it's important as an artist that you never like do what you're told. I think you should always follow like a new creative, like you as an artist, you're thinking of new possible ways of seeing things, and like you're trying to be creative, you're trying to open the world to new things. So I'm kind of breaking away from that photorealistic stuff. I'm not too interested in it because honestly, like it's digital humans. Give 5 or 10 years down the road, most people will probably be able to do what I do with the newer tools. As tools get better, it'll be easier to create photorealistic. So if I want to be remembered in any way or be a successful artist, I can't just create stuff which is everybody's going to do in 10 years. I got to be creative and be the guy who's opening those doors for other people.
Yeah, you got to innovate. Innovation is important because otherwise eventually everything does get easier, and like the threshold, I guess, to get in is a lot lower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I always want to somehow be like cutting edge. So I got to make myself important somehow. So I have to adapt and grow myself. And it's just good as a human being, like always grow and try to push through uncomfortable things.